Happy New Year's, everyone! Hope you all had an amazing New Year's and that you had lots of fun celebrating it. Now it's time for a new decade, but also time for a new TBR. But I first thought I would tell you about my reading goal for this year. I want to read 100 books. Yeah, I'm hoping I will be able to complete that. If not, I will try again next year. So the first book on my TBR is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I'm very excited to read this. It is about this girl called Jude and her sister witness their parents being murdered, and they are kidnapped by the assassin. They're taken away to the land of the fairies and they are treated horribly because of their mortal life. And so Jude realizes that in order to survive, she has to be cunning and stealthy. But there is a cruel prince, I can't remember his name, what is it? Prince Carden, who isn't the best person, let's just say that. I am so excited to read this. It looks absolutely beautiful. I have heard so much about this book, especially on Twitter and in the booktube community, and also some of my friends that in Perth, they have told me about it, and it sounds so interesting and right up my alley. I absolutely love fairies, which, as you can tell, because I love Sarah J Maas. The next one on my TBR is The Fairy Tales of the Brothers Grimm. I am so excited to read this. I actually got this months and months and months ago and I started reading it, but I actually lost it and I didn't know where I put it. Turns out it was just in my wardrobe with the rest of my books, but very well hidden underneath larger books. So I'm very excited to read this. Looks like it's going to be very interesting. I absolutely adore fairy tales. They are what got me into reading, so at least I think they were. My mum used to read a lot of fairy tales to me. The third book in my TBR is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. This is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series. I just finished Heir of Fire yesterday and oh my god, it was just absolutely epic. I don't really want to explain this all too much in case you haven't watched Heir of Fire, so you might just want to skip this part if you can. I'll see if I can put a timestamp here. If I haven't, I'm sorry. That's just because I don't know how. So this is basically Selena is going back to where she was before. She's going to go visit her old teacher, the person who taught her how to be an assassin, and she has to get her affairs in order. She's collecting her court and she's gonna get ready and build her army so that she can fight as Ahern. I don't really know if I should call her Selena or Ahern anymore, to be honest. I've noticed that after Heir of Fire, lots of people refer to her as Ahern, but I've also noticed that still lots of people call her Selena. I don't know. Comment below if you read the series if you still call Selena Selena or if you refer to her as Ahern yet. Next is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid, Kemmerer. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, I'm sorry. That's it there. All the books will be linked below, by the way, so in case you want to have a look at them or even purchase them yourselves. This is about Harper and Wren, and I'm pretty sure it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but a twisted version. Wren is cursed to relive the autumn of his 18th birthday, I believe. Over and over and over again he relives the year, and I think once a year he will turn into a beast. And so he gets like a woman to come, but he has failed so many times that he's become desperate and says just get any woman. Harper is unfortunately kidnapped and brought into this magical world where she is from Washington DC and has to break his curse, but she wants to go home, I'm quite sure. I'm not entirely sure. That is probably the worst explanation of this book possible. I am so sorry. I read the first chapter when I first heard about it months ago. Actually, I can say last year now. I heard about it on Kaylin Abroad's channel and I just thought this sounded amazing, and I read the first chapter in Goodreads and I was just like, I want to buy this. But every single time it got restocked at my local bookstore, it would get sold out straight away. I only have one local bookstore in my town, and I don't want to order it online just because when I order books online they always get damaged, which is unfortunate. For my 5th book is Jasper Jones by Craig Silvey. I have heard a bit about this book. I actually got it at a bookstore slash cafe. I know I only said we only have one local bookstore. That's our only proper bookstore. We also have a cafe slash bookstore in town as well, which is pretty awesome. I got this there and I thought it was an absolute bargain. I think I got it for, does it say? $6. Look at that. Nice. So this follows the story of Charlie, and basically the town's outcast knocks on his window, that's Jasper Jones, and basically he says, you have to come with me. I don't know who to go to otherwise. They don't actually know each other, but this causes them to basically have a relationship that Charlie never wanted, because they find out that someone has died. And Jasper knows that he will be, basically he will be framed for the murder. So he gets Charlie involved because he doesn't know who else to get involved, and goes, you need to help me dispose of the body and keep this secret because I don't know what else to do. And while doing that, they try and keep the secret, but they also, I believe, they try and find out who the murderer actually is. So that's pretty interesting in my opinion. I'm very excited to read it. I did try to read it before when I first got it, but I was in a very heavy reading slump and I was going through something at the time, so that was part of the reason. I do remember the first chapter being like 50 odd pages long or something, like it's long, which is crazy, but I'm down for it. And also this book is set in Australia, I'm pretty sure, and in WA, which is where I'm from. I hail from WA. Which I like, because most books are in America, and not gonna lie, I'm getting a bit bored of it. This one's a bit of a big one. I'm very excited to read it. I read it before, so this is a reread technically, because I haven't read this version. It is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but the illustrated version. I got this for Christmas from my boyfriend, which is really sweet, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. I am so excited to read it. If you don't know what Harry Potter is about, which it is one of the most popular fantasy series. It is about this boy, Harry, who is the chosen one after Voldemort, the most evil wizard, tries to kill him, but he lives. So he is known as the boy who lives. He is made to be put in the care of his aunt and uncle, the Dursleys, who are absolutely horrible and keep him in the cupboard under the stairs. He is completely and utterly unaware of his magic and the fact that he is absolutely famous in the wizarding world, until he is invited to come to Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and he finds out how important he actually is. So there's that for you. I highly recommend you read it if you haven't. It is a beautiful book and the series is absolutely stunning. J.K. Rowling is so talented, and it is just, I am in absolute awestruck of the fact that I actually own an illustrated copy. I've always wanted to. My last 2 books are going to be finishing off 2 of the books that were on my TBR for last month that I really do want to finish. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Lauren Myracle. These are 3 separate romance Christmas stories. I've read the first one, The Jubilee Express. I actually have a book talk on it if you would like to watch it. I'm now up to John Green's one, A Teartastic Miracle, and I'm really looking forward to it. I also am so happy because this has LGBT representation in it, which is just so happy to hear. I'm very excited to finish this book. And last but not least, Where Rainbows End by Cecelia Ahern. I haven't gotten very far in it, unfortunately, but I am still absolutely adoring this book. It is so sweet and so pure, but also a bit inappropriate. Well, a bit more than a bit. If you don't know what this is about Rosie Dunn, who falls pregnant and basically has to put her dreams and life on hold for her baby, and also has fallen in love with her best friend Alex, who is in love with her. But it's the classic case of friends think that the other friend isn't interested in them like that when they're both quite clearly in love. I absolutely adore this book. I adore the movie. It is one of my favourite movies. I've mentioned that before on this channel. Lily Collins, an absolute babe, is one of my many celebrity crushes. Oh my god, she is absolutely stunning. I am up to chapter, I believe I'm up to chapter 9. Yep, I'm up to chapter 9. So far I'm absolutely loving it. I love how fast paced this is, and that it is all actually in the format of emails and text messages and instant messages, letters, that sort of stuff. I find it so easy to read and get through, which is great because I have been getting in so many reading slumps lately, and it's such a chill book as well. It's great to read before you go to bed if you just want to wind down. It's absolutely wonderful. That's all of the books that I'm reading for January 2020. I hope you all are excited to start your own TBRs, and I would love to hear what you're planning to read for this month, and if you have a reading goal, what is it, or your New Year's resolutions, comment them down below. I'm more than happy to hear them. Anywho, bye guys!